Something you wish to report? Go on. You have my undivided attention. Oh, sorry to keep you waiting.
Ah, you're back! Huh? And you've got the Traveler and Paimon with you, too!
What a pleasant surprise. I assume you'll be joining us for the game then?
Linny, Farina! Paimon didn't know you were playing too! Are you also
I'm more of a casual member, if anything. I haven't taken part in many formal club activities. Lynette Fremine and I play something similar at the Hotel Bouffe Tété sometimes, but I'm usually the GM. Still, I'm sure it'll be fun being a player for the first time. I'm looking forward to it.
Well, I'm not a member of the club at all. Claran simply woke me up first thing this morning, said there was a good script worth experiencing, and asked if I wanted in.
If you're interested, I can give you a referral. That should give you a 40% discount on membership fees.
I think I'll wait to see how this experience plays out first, especially when it comes to the quality of the script. If it's sufficiently fun, then I'll join.
Do you participate in a lot of tabletop troupe activities, Clarand?
You could say that. She's actually one of the few senior game masters of the—
Right. I knew about that even when—
It's nothing.
Wow. Paimon's so used to seeing you be all upstanding and intimidating as the champion duke.
Surely you jest. I would never intentionally make things I maintain a clear boundary between my but in my personal life, I'm just an ordinary person.
Well, you say that, but for all the time I've known you—
I was...
Is that so?
So you want to see me cry? That might be a little difficult. A show of anger, though, that might be something I could accomplish.
No, that's not what I meant. I'm back! Here, allow me to introduce you to this.
Pleasure to meet you all.
Hello. Wait, are you a champion duelist too, Mr. Florian?
Oh, no. This is just the costume provided by the club. I occasionally play a few of the roles in my scripts.
That sounds like a lot of work.
It's nothing. It's the least we can do to give the players a Anyway, allow me to give you a brief introduction of the script. This script was adapted from the real history of the Marechaussee
Paimon's not super familiar with the history of the Marechaussee Hunters. Is that a problem?
Oh, no problem at all. I can give you a brief rundown. So, basically, Marechaussee Hunters were people who dedicated themselves to hunting monsters and protecting this. Their story can be traced back to the ancient Remurian dynasty, as well as the first hunter, Cassiodor. But I'll leave the finer details for you to seek out and discover later.
And I'll provide additional commentary as the story progresses.
In that case, brave hunters, are you ready to set out on an unknown adventure?
Whoa, just one sentence and it's like we're in the story already!
Aha, I see many a determined gaze before me. Very well.
So, as we follow the story, it leads us to specifics.
It's the exact... Please check all your belongings, everyone.
Sounds good. Hunter Squad?
Whoa, they really have thought of everything. Even the Fatometer is here and ready to go for us.
The Fatometer. What's that?
It's a card that's used to determine action success or failure. We'll need to use it when we try to use certain skills.
And what about all the dessert and tea? Is that for us as well?
That's what the message said.
Really? That's so...
Those snacks have Paimon's name written on.
I think you might be...
Snack Hunter Paimon reported for duty. If there are delicious snacks to be found, Paimon will track down every last one.
The desserts are great. But I'm still looking forward to the story more than anything.
Very fair. Then, let us begin. First, please pick up... You can find an abbreviated version of the rules printed on the back of your character. In this story, everyone...
Ooh, nice.
As hunters, you have proficiency in swordsmanship...
Swordsmanship?
So, for the name, do I fill it out with the name of my character?
Yep. It can...
You can use your real name too if you want.
Oh, so it would be like,
In that case, I think I'll continue to use the name Linny then.
Next up is the skill sheet. You have a limited amount of skill points that you can use to learn a number of skills. The more points you invest in a particular skill, the easier...
Oh, those skills sound like they'd be useful for gathering intelligence. Good idea, Navia. Just as expected of a veteran player.
So,
Not necessary. For example, I think I'll take stealth and sleight of hand.
oh, interesting. I wasn't thinking about it like that. Let me see. I'll take arts and performance.
Well, that leaves us. What do you want to learn, Traveler? Ha ha! Gotta say, this suits you really. Ooh, so what do you think? Are you sure you want to learn?
Let's see.
You've all picked such classic skills.
Why do I get the feeling...
For example,
Oh, I saw that one.
The script's world-building rules, huh? But how are we supposed to know what a Marashose hunter can summon?
oh, that's not for us to worry.
All right, you've convinced Paimon. Let's learn summon then. Paimon can't wait to see what kind of thing shows up.
Well, now that everyone's more or less finished creating their characters, we can begin. Since 2 of our players are doing this for the first time, though, let me ask. Would you like to play on easy mode or authentic mode?
What's the difference between the two?
Well, in role-playing games, the story sometimes changes based on the decisions of the players and the results of the Fatometer. For example, if you fail a check, that means you cannot use the target skill in that scenario. A critical failure may even result in further negative consequences. If you choose to play in authentic mode, every time you elect to use a skill, you'll need to use the Fatometer to see whether you succeed or fail, and face any consequences that may follow. If you choose easy mode instead, Every check will be successful by default, and you won't have to worry about luck playing a factor.
Given that I'd like to focus on the story, I suppose I should pick easy mode. I'd feel bad if I brought the team down by failing my checks.
Huh? Oh, come on. Don't worry about that. RNG is the lifeblood of role-playing games. I'm going with authentic mode for sure. Never knowing what you might have to overcome. Ugh, doesn't that sound exciting?
I'd rather be mentally prepared for what might happen.
All right, then I'll mark down Farina for easy mode. All her checks will be successful by default. As usual, Navia and Linny will play on authentic mode.
What about you, dear partner? How would you like to play?
Are you sure?
Trust me, you'll see the beauty of RNG. Honestly, I don't think Clorand would make things too difficult for us, no matter...
No promises.
That wasn't super reassuring.
Well, anyway, enough talk. Let's get started.
Speaking of the story, why is the beginning scene on a beach?
Well, that's because... A long time ago, back when human civilization was still in its infancy, powerful demons and evil sorcerers ruled over the land. They created a host of monsters and sent them to slaughter all humans in existence. Soon, a group of human rebels banded together. With their swords raised, they swore to brave the darkness, and in doing so, subdue each and every monster that sought their destruction. They became known as the Marachose Hunters. Sometime later, as a member of the Marachose Hunters, you receive a commission. Following the address provided on the message, you take a boat and arrive at this strange city. As you inhale, you can taste the slightly salty air of the docks as you begin to survey your surroundings. There aren't many people in the vicinity, but you do take note of a few others who, like you, seem to be sizing up this place. Your eyes meet, and you realize these people are fellow Marachose Hunters.
You're all Marachose hunters too, right? Allow me to introduce myself. The name's Navia, monster hunter by trade and helpful neighborhood businesswoman on the side. What say you to traveling together? We can help each other out on the road.
Okay, count me in. My name is Linny. I've been wandering since I was little and picked up a few less than legal tricks along the way. I was adopted by a Marachose hunter and later chose to follow in his footsteps.
Is this where you introduce your character to everyone? It sounds like they've done this dozens of times. My name is Farina, and, I grew up in a noble family. I always had a strong interest in performance and the arts. Even though I'm a Marachose hunter, what I really want is to be a performing artiste.
Hey, that's really cool. You can do it, Farina. That's exactly how it's done.
Paimon is Paimon, a good friend and companion to this Marachose Hunter right here.
I've been studying the culinary arts since I was a child. I hope my delicious food can help.
That's wonderful. I'll be looking forward to your cooking during our adventures together.
Well, if we're all here for the same commission, why don't we take some time to confirm what...
You open your envelopes at the same time. The message reads, "To the honorable and trustworthy Marachose hunters, our kingdom is currently facing a grave crisis. The lands outside the cap..."
The lake?
The scriptwriter must have used a
As experienced hunters, the layout of the city reminds you of places once traveled. You recall the sight of... Yet, as you...
I carefully read every line of the letter and turn my attention to the signatures at the bottom.
You see a long string of unfamiliar names. It would seem that many of the residents of the city issued this commission together.
In that case, why don't we take a walk around the city and see if we can learn...
Oh, good idea.
You look up and see a tavern nearby. It appears to be open for the day.
Why don't we go check out that tavern?
As you approach the tavern, you find a plainly dressed woman standing nearby. She appears to be rather troubled about something.
Greetings, friend.
Oh, hello. I suppose you're right. The weather today is quite lovely.
It seems like every character included in the script has a certain amount of useful information to offer. If we keep
Oh, come now. Don't be sad. Life is all about
Huh?
I don't think that's the kind of question...
Nothing turns a frown upside down like good food. How about some macarons?
You didn't even take cooking as one of your skill proficiencies.
That's not necessary, miss. Excuse me for saying this, but you don't
So you're someone who barely smiles and doesn't like sweets. Hey! Did she just... me?
Glorian must have broke character for a second.
This isn't getting us anywhere. Traveler, maybe you can think of something.
Are you sure? In that case, please refer to the Fatometer.
Whoa, it was a success!
You remain silent as you prepare a pot and fire to use for cooking. The woman stares at you with her mouth agape as you skillfully cut the ingredients and toss them into the pot. After some time, a rich aroma begins to fill the air. Even a passing cat can't help but stop in its tracks and look up in anticipation.
Please have some food. Who knows, maybe you'll feel better after eating something delicious.
Whoa, that's amazing.
Wait. So as long as you pass the check, you can pretty much do anything? And it won't be seen as absurd?
Oh, thank you. You were right. This food really did make me feel better.
So, what had you so worried earlier? Could you tell us a bit more about it?
A horde of monsters suddenly appeared near the capital recently, so all the guards were dispatched to fight them.
Do you remember when those monsters appeared?
I'm not completely sure. All I know is that my husband was dispatched to fight them 3 days ago.
Do you know where he was sent?
It all happened so fast. When we said our goodbyes, he couldn't even tell me where they were sending him.
You have our thanks, friend. We'll find and defeat those monsters as soon as possible.
Don't worry. We'll find him. Just try to remain optimistic and wait for good news. We don't always get to choose what happens to us. But we do get to choose the little things, like what we eat and how we
I'll do my... You bid farewell to the woman and continue your journey further into the city. As you venture further into the city, the streets appear largely empty. An elderly woman walks past. You see her shake her head as she puts away her wrinkled wallet. A nearby merchant folds his arms and gives you a disdainful look. You get the impression that he's someone who has long gotten used to the sight before him.
Although he doesn't seem very friendly, merchants are usually a good source of information, right?
Pardon me, sir. I'd like to ask a question if I may.
That depends. How much are you willing to pay?
How about this much?
What do you take me for? Some lowly beggar? You can't even buy half an onion with that amount.
Surely an onion can't be that expensive, right?
What do you know? War's nearly upon us. Everything costs several times what it did before. If you're not gonna buy anything, then scram.
Whoa, what a nasty guy. Maybe we shouldn't even bother talking to him.
But he still might have information we need. Traveler, can you think of something? Sir, we came to this city to solve the very problem you seem to be referring. If you happen to be well informed and know a thing or two about what's going.
Well, things are basically as you said, young lady. Those monsters are camped out. We have limited reserves.
Wait, you're saying no one has put a plan?
Who knows? Maybe
That is concerning.
All right. That's all the information you need, right? Off with you now. I've still got business to do.
You know, if you smiled a little more, you'd definitely get more business. And I bet that would make your life just a little bit sweeter. I'm not saying it's guaranteed to work. It's just a tip.
Should we try to go somewhere with more people?
Oh, how about the city square? Follow me.
Before you lies the city's central square. You see a man with a slightly anxious look on his face, pacing back and forth, his head hanging low. He doesn't seem to notice your approach. Still immersed in his own thoughts, he shakes.
This guy seems promising enough. Maybe I can get some information out of him. Hello, sir. Is there anything I can do to help you?
Wait, you're...
I'm...
Oh, dear goodness! You're a Marashose hunter!
You recognize us? Ah, are you one of the people who wrote the commission letter?
Yes, yes! Oh, I didn't expect you to actually come. Oh, what great news! The city is saved!
What happened here?
Alas, we once lived comfortable. However,
Are there not enough soldiers to drive them out?
it's not a question of numbers. Most people my age have never even seen one of the monsters, much less been trained to fight against them. When I was a child, though, to be perfectly...
Well, you can rest easy, friend.
The man is touched by your determination and resolve. His eyes begin to well with tears of relief.
Still, if we are going to hunt the
Although...
I see. We'll go look.
All right, be careful. Oh, and they're actively working with the monsters, and have corrupted the court ministers with malicious magic. They're the reason why even one of our kindest ministers has turned into a boorish and unreasonable figure, interested in nothing.
Talk about being stuck between a...
I feel bad for him. Maybe we should try to cheer him up?
Huh? Like, now?
I appreciate your kindness, but brave hunters, I leave the future...
If I understood correctly, there are currently 2 problems in the kingdom that need solving, right?
Exactly. We need to defeat the monsters outside the city and take down the evil sorcerer stirring up trouble from within.
Well, this seems like a good moment for a break. Take some time and discuss what you want to do. Let me know.
I really didn't expect the people in the city to keep us at arm's length like that. I totally thought the hunters would be treated like heroes.
Well, Clarence said the script took cues from the real history of Fontaine, right? Maybe the real-life Marashose hunters were also treated like that.
I wouldn't say it's a perfect representation of history, but there are definitely some similarities. Would you like to hear more about it?
Sure. As long as it doesn't spoil anything in the script. You brought up bits and pieces of the hunter's history before, but it was all in passing.
Paimon wants to know too! The hunters were super powerful, right? Were they all from a special line of supernatural beings or something? Kinda like the yokai in Inazuma?
No. All Marashose hunters were ordinary mortal fighters. The only thing that set them apart were the special...
Huh? So you mean anyone could become a Marashose hunter?
In theory, yes. All you would need to do is survive. Still, most people dropped out at the early stages. And others called it quits the minute they saw a monster in person. To become...
What kind of monsters did the hunters fight?
The land of Fontaine once played host to an ancient dynasty known as Remuria. One of the ancient sorcerers of Remuria used his power to...
Now, wait a second. Don't tell me that guy was the inspiration for the evil sorcerer in the script.
Well, I wasn't planning on going into anything you might be able to find out in the game. But if you want me to talk about something else...
Wait, but those...
From my master.
By master, you mean Miss Petronia?
Someone you know?
Absolutely. Miss Petronia and my father were good friends.
Let's not get off topic. Responding to Egeria's call, a number of warriors followed Cassiodor into... Yet, as Fontaine entered an era of peace, their work gradually...
Ah, I see.
Is that really a bad thing, though? It can get tough always being the one Speaking of I vote monsters. That...
Well said, Miss Farina. Plus, if the sorcerers really are the masterminds behind this whole thing, defeating the monsters could give us some clues.
What about you, partner? What do you think? It's decided then.
All right. After some... You there! Outsiders, halt!
Who's there?
An armored man approaches you. He has a tall, muscular build and a determined expression in his eyes. Just one look, and you can tell he's fought in his fair share of battles. Although he's trying his best to conceal his current state, his uneven gait and the sweat dripping down his forehead make it obvious that he's been wounded and is in serious pain. I'm the captain of the guard. I saw you sneaking around the city earlier, so I'll only ask this once. State your purpose, or it's off to the dungeons for the lot of you.
Wow, it's been a while since someone's been this suspicious of us.
I said talk, not whisper between yourselves.
Have you ever heard of the Marchese Hunters?
Marachose hunters? Ha! That fairy tale, you mean? What, you expect me to believe you're one of them? Using your knowledge of medicine, you're able to deduce that the injury on his calf was a monster's doing, and the wound has already begun to fester. As you check him over, he looks at you with
I'm a doctor by trade.
The man appears somewhat disgruntled. He allows you to apply a poultice of specialized medicine to the wound, and it appears to bring him much relief. All right.
Do you know where we can find the monsters?
He informs you of some of our new recruits have never even...
Oh, please, sir. Don't get too worked up.
Hearing you say that, those monsters aren't easy to deal with. But if you insist on going, I won't stop you either. I just hope all the guards will be able to come back to their families alive. I wish you...
Based on what the captain said, the monsters should be right up ahead. Let's go. Hopefully we're not too late.
As you approach the battlefield, you see numerous people lying by the side of the road. They appear to be dressed like guards. Their faces are filled with desperation and terror. Some are screaming and cursing in vain, as if still trying to banish the monstrosities they saw from their minds. A few of the wounded look up at you in shock and disbelief. Quick, leave this place. Turn around and don't look back, they yell. It doesn't seem like there's any information to be gained from the area up ahead. You conclude that this area is best left unexplored at this time.
This is the place he mentioned, right?
You see broken iron swords scattered all around you, and down all the signs point to one thing. A truly devastating battle just took place here.
Be on your guard, everyone. The monsters might still be around.
Before you can finish your sentence, you hear rustling sounds from the surrounding bushes. The monsters have emerged. They close in on you without fear. You get the impression that, in their bloodthirsty eyes, you're just another meal for them to...
A little help here! This thing wants to eat Paimon!
Your battle round begins. Now.
Shower me with praise!
Step right up.
Coming at ya! Watch out! Ah.
The next battle round begins now.
May I present? Let my name echo in song!
Here comes the finale. Yeah.
Attack! That's the way.
The monsters let out a terrifying roar of anger and resentment before dissipating into thin air.
Oh, thank goodness it's over.
We're lucky the Marashose Hunter class came with all those preset skill.
I never knew the photometer.
That's part of the fun. The uncertainty.
Just as you begin to celebrate your victory, a suspicious lump on the ground catches your attention.
A suspicious lump. Wait, could it be the thing that appears after every battle?
I walk up to it, crouch down, and begin to carefully examine it. I've still got my right glove on, so it should be fine for me to touch.
As you investigate them, with the monsters gone, the
Whoa, it's a treasure chest!
With everyone's help, you successfully excavate the wooden chest from the ground. Even without opening it, you can tell from the Mora and
Makes sense. We worked hard for this. Let's open it and we can share what's inside.
I can understand your excitement, Paimon, but think about it. Doesn't it seem like there are people out there who need this treasure more than us?
Yeah. Think about all the people suffering in the capital. Or all those guards who got hurt fighting the monsters. Wouldn't it be better if we gave the treasure to them?
Wait, is that how it works? Paimon thought since we were the ones to dig it up, we could just take it for ourselves.
Well, let's put it this way. Any decision you make during a role-playing game can impact the future course of the story.
But would the people really believe us? It's hard enough for us to prove we're Marshose hunters. What if they think we procured the treasure illegally? They might get even more suspicious of us.
That's definitely something we should consider. Maybe we can come up with an explanation in advance.
Well, if donating it could...
looks like you're facing a well, it's
Wow, where did the time...
I'm not sure if it's because I'm having so much fun with you all, or because the story is particular.
Here, here. Ooh, how about we play through the night?
Yeah, that won't work for me either.
I understand how you feel, Navia, but we have to change venues for the next part of the story anyway.
Huh? Another location?
There's a special note for the GM at the end of this section that says to...
Whoa, they really pulled out all the...
Well, even if we end the game for the day...
Something tells me you just want to finish the free desserts before we break for the day.
That's just a coincidence, okay? Besides, to Paimon, not finishing free food feels even worse than having to buy your own. And anyway, Paimon really does want to hear more about Cloran's master.
Well...
It's nothing. I appreciate the concern, but it's all in the past. It won't do any harm to share these things now. My earliest memories are of living with Master. According to her, she saved me from certain people of ill repute. My birth parents had left me behind some time before that.
What a heavy beginning for a life story.
Master was my first ever toy was a short sword.
Oh, wait, so she handed an actual sword to a child? Isn't that dangerous? Did you hurt yourself?
Of course I did. I cut my palm and bled quite a lot. But Master was not concerned. She just stood there and casually lectured me about it. See, That's what you get for not holding the sword properly, she told me. She then crouched down next to me and said, "Give me your hand. I'll teach you to bandage this wound. After that, it's time to learn how to truly hold a blade."
Excuse me for asking this, Clorand, but how old were you exactly when all this happened?
Probably around, 3, give or take.
3? Isn't that when most kids are still...
As I said, Master was rather inexperienced in the ways of raising children. She believed trial and error was the best way to teach a child what they're capable of.
I'm not so sure this is a...
I didn't see anything wrong with her ways at the time. And anyway, children don't get to choose how they're raised. Oh, she did bring me back a pet from Liyue once. It was a Geovishap hatchling.
A Geovishap hatchling? For a pet? That seems even more dangerous.
What she said was this: make sure to get along, you two. If you really can't agree on something, just settle it with a fight. Whoever loses is the real pet.
And how old were you when this happened?
5.
Well, did you...
No,
So you're saying you actually became the Geovishap's pet?
Yes, but only for a week. By the end of that week, I defeated it in combat, and we've shared a cordial relationship ever since.
That really doesn't sound like the kind of childhood someone should have.
Later on, I gradually understood that Master most likely didn't know any other way to raise a child. She was a Marachose hunter, but I never heard her bring up her own parents. Thanks to her, I learned how to navigate the forest by the age of 6, and could hunt monsters in the wild by myself the year after that. Even though the training she subjected me to was strict, she always made sure to take me traveling when she had the time. We met many of her friends during those days. That was also how I met Mr. Callis and his family.
I still remember the first time we met. You were too scared to join our picnic and hid behind Ms. Petronia the whole time.
I still hadn't really met many
After that, though, you started coming over a lot. You loved challenging people to shooting competitions, remember?
I had a lot of fun during those days.
I enjoyed them too. Oh, do you remember that one time we went exploring around the Spina together? We overheard Papa call your master Fontaine's protector. We tried to pretend like we never heard anything, but
Protector of Justice. Oh, wait, you mean that vigilante hero from 20 years ago? The one who was always active at night?
Yep.
20 years ago, huh? I still remember the guards leaving all kinds of witness reports about her.
My apologies.
Oh, there's no need to apologize. You had nothing to do with it. And anyway, everything she did was for a good cause. Although, calling herself the protector of order was a bit much. Especially when she deliberately operated outside the law.
Huh? When did the protect...
Oh, she had a... Later on, she probably...
That sounds like her, all right.
Well, she certainly sounds like a fascinating individual. With her strong sense of justice, it's no surprise her student followed in her footsteps.
It's true. I always wanted to become like her.
But...
She suddenly disappeared the night...
Disappeared? What happened?
I have no idea. She didn't even leave a note. I was never able to find out that night. I was celebrating when she still didn't appear.
Papa probably didn't know either. I know he sent a few people to investigate the matter in secret, but they never found any credible leads.
Don't worry, I understand. To be perfectly honest, given Master's personality and way of just like how, when a litter of kittens reaches a certain age, the mother willingly leaves them behind.
Were you upset, Clorand?
I was at first.
Well, despite everything, you still managed to...
I suspect my position would be far too by the books for her. Master always did whatever she pleased. But you're right. I suppose I do take after her in some ways.
Who knew Clorinde had such an interesting past? I never had the chance to ask her about it before. I wonder... if Clorinde's master were the champion duelist back then... would that duel against Mr. Callus have gone differently? Oh no. Judging by the atmosphere, Clorinde and Navi are probably thinking something similar. The mood just got super awkward all of a sudden.
Well, anyway. Would you look at the time? It's getting dark, so we should probably call it.
I had a great time today.
Anytime.
The script was good, but I've got to say, your childhood stories were even... Hey,
You could be right.
What does she mean, on to something? I certainly don't know any 5-year-olds who want to fight a bishop in their spare time. Guess I'll head back as well. I need to save my energy if I want to continue enjoying the story tomorrow.
You're that excited to hear about my fight with the bishop?
I was talking about the script.
Inactivity serves no purpose whatsoever. All the world holds dear is but a backdrop of constant motion. I stand before it, alone and unchanging. Inactivity serves no—
Let's go meet up with the group! Paimon's really looking forward to today's story.
Looks like everyone's here. Now, before we begin, why don't we finish where we left off yesterday? There was an important decision to be made, yes? I'll pour everyone a cup of tea.
Is that really the most important part, though, Clorinde? Paimon's more concerned about our current surroundings. Heavy walls, cold railings, dim lights. This is obviously supposed to be a prison.
I admire the work put into the set. Still, it's obvious the scriptwriter has never paid a visit to the fortress of Meripede.
So the set is going to be a part of the script?
Unfortunately, that is something I can neither confirm nor deny.
Anyone think Clorinde's smile is starting to look kinda scary?
Well, whatever happens, we'll just have to push on. But first, we should really figure out what to do with this treasure. If we're worried about arousing suspicion because of our identity, Why don't we give ourselves a different name, just like Cloran's master did?
Yeah, it might be better to keep a low profile. As long as we're helping people, it doesn't matter who we are or what we're called.
Staring at me won't get you anywhere. Or did you want some more tea?
Oh, Paimon's good. Thanks. Why aren't you saying anything, Navia? Wait, what's that next to you?
Oh, this is the short sword Cloran mentioned last night. I found it.
Huh. I'm surprised you managed to track it down after all this time.
Well, I made sure to take good care of it, considering the circumstances in which you gave it to me. Of course I had to keep it safe. Anyway, where were we? Oh, right.
Wait, we haven't been thrown into prison yet.
Well, it's only a matter of time. It pays to be prepared.
All right, Paimon may have wanted to keep it, but if it's going to land us in prison somehow, Paimon will be too upset to enjoy her snacks.
So, you reached an agreement? All right then, we can continue with the story.
Oh, and we'll collect all the scattered pieces of treasure on the ground as well.
All right. You collect the treasure and make your way back to the capital with your bag of loot in hand. The city is still shrouded in a gloomy, oppressive atmosphere, but your spirits are surprisingly high. In places where sunlight struggles to reach, you generously share your wealth with the children, the elderly, and the poor in urgent need of help.
Thank you, kind soul.
The elderly woman's look of gratitude follows you as you walk away, her eyes never leaving your back until you move entirely out of sight. However, there's still quite a bit of Mora remaining. It appears you haven't made much progress.
She's probably trying to tell us to speed this up. We need to hurry up so we can address the sorcerer problem.
Should we go find that man again at the square? He seemed like a pretty responsible guy. I'm sure he knows the people here far better than us.
Oh, good idea!
Just as you start to make way to...
Please wait, distinguished guests.
Several strange guards suddenly call out to you. They run forward to meet you and proceed to politely...
Greetings, gentlemen. Are we being invited for afternoon?
Surely you jest, my lady. That would not be our place. It is His Excellency the King who requests to meet with you. Please come with us.
Do you think this could be...
Well, we have to investigate the court at some point, right? Meeting the king himself would be a fantastic opportunity to do that.
I say we go for it. If something happens, we'll just turn the whole place upside down.
That sounds a little
After a quick discussion, you nod to the guards, and gilded tables line both sides of the hall. The space itself is adorned with all manner of expensive antiques, glass shelves, and silver candlesticks. The items appear quite ordinary in size and dimension.
Wow, it's so luxurious!
The elderly king, clad in a magnificent robe, sits upon the deep crimson throne before you. He wears above his head a majestic crown, with a gemstone the size of a bird's egg set right at the very front. As you observe it, you see a complex pattern of light reflect off its surface.
They're here, Your Majesty.
A man dressed in dark clothes, likely a minister, shields his mouth with his hands and bends down to whisper a few words. After a moment, he lowers his hands and stands back up. His gaze shifts to fixate on your group, but he does not move from his place at the king's side.
The king does not appear entirely aware of his surroundings. The man by his side, though.
The king remains still and says nothing. The minister is the one. Esteemed guests, allow me to thank you for coming to our faraway kingdom. I've heard tell that your group, the Marsh. However, seeing that I was not fortunate enough to observe such a feat with my.
Well, we've got nothing to hide. You brought us here to talk, right? The golem's blades were so powerful, they could cut down trees in a single swipe. Well, that was enough details, right? Believe us now?
Your account does indeed match those of the survivors. Since you were the ones who
Well, we did take the treasure, but...
How did he know about the treasure?
Then I must ask that you return it at once. It belongs to the kingdom.
Wait, but didn't you just say that our great deed deserved a reward? Shouldn't the treasure be considered a part of that?
Yes, that was indeed what I said. But you seem to have forgotten a very important distinction. Only that which is freely given by the king can be considered a reward.
But that's
Yeah, that makes no sense! If it weren't for us, the treasure would still be buried underground somewhere!
Maybe so, yet the fact remains. You tried to dispose of the treasure without reporting it to the court and without receiving permission, yes? What, no answer? Surely you're not insinuating that you, a group of legendary Marechaussee hunters, sought to take the treasure for yourselves?
Well, what about the king? Is he just gonna let this guy talk for him the whole time?
Clad in his magnificent robe, the king remains seated, with his hands resting on either side of the throne. His posture is rigid and unmoving. He stares forward with an empty look in his eyes, completely unmoved by the events before him.
From the look of things,
I would like to observe the number of guards stationed.
The guards in the palace appear fully armed, their expressions solemn. Sensing the tense atmosphere in the room, they...
Well, there goes my plan.
It appears we've been... Before I decide your fate...
Can't we try to slip away? Or maybe...
But if we try to fight the guards right now...
Don't worry. At least we figured out who's behind all this. Let's just play it by ear.
Aw, thanks, you guys.
You allow yourself to be led away by guards surrounding you on both sides. It's only when you begin to feel drops of water falling from the dungeon ceiling.
Stay here, and don't try anything funny.
The guards lock the cell door and leave without looking back.
Wait, sir!
Your voice echoes through the dark hall, but the only response you receive is the sound of water dripping from the ceiling.
No! What should we do now?
Carve out a new path of fate with our own two hands, of course. I draw my weapon.
You reach toward your waist, but find nothing there. You now recall that your weapons were confiscated before the guards locked you in the cell. The bag of treasure along with them.
What about that knife I hid in my boot?
When did you hide it in there?
When I was thinking about digging a tunnel.
Rejected. You failed to inform the GM of this course of action. Moreover, the guards would have conducted a thorough search before throwing you in prison.
And the keys to the cell aren't anywhere to be seen?
Correct. You don't even feel a lock hole on the cell door.
Oh, well, there goes all our plans.
Indeed.
Huh? Why are you the one saying indeed?
Because that statement holds true for me as well. This is where the script ends.
What? But that's a terrible ending!
Generally speaking, this should be the point where the scriptwriter gives the players some kind of hint, or gives the GM some kind of code for how to move forward.
I mean, maybe they just really wanted us to be immersed in the feeling of being in prison? Like, they'll only show us the way out once we've grown truly and utterly desperate?
That is a possibility.
If only there were desserts and tea in real prison. Oh, wait, guess that's kind of how the Fortress of Meripede works if you're lucky.
Oh, before I forget, Navia, the short sword you had with you earlier. I took a closer look, and the craftsmanship doesn't appear to resemble anything from this era. If I remember correctly, that style was last in vogue several hundred years ago.
Wait, Cloran said that sword used to belong to her master, right? Does that mean her master has been alive that long?
I doubt it. The way she went about things often made her seem childish more than anything. I'd say the sword was most likely an heirloom passed down over time.
Hang on. A precious heirloom passed down to you by your master. And you gave it to me just like that? You weren't worried I might lose it?
Master left many things to me when she I gave you the sword back then, because I didn't want our friendship to—
Wait, when did this happen exactly?
After the duel. Between Mr. Callis and myself.
Before that, Clorand would have meals with us and even stay over at the Spina some days. She was on great terms with Papa as well. After the duel, though, there was a period of time where we simply didn't know how to face each other. She entrusted this sword. We were both sad and conflicted. And whenever I looked at this sword, I couldn't help but wonder if Miss Petronille back then, it felt like I hadn't just lost a father.
No one can change.
Yep.
I'm sorry. You
Think nothing of it. No one here is at fault.
Huh? Looks like the next part of our script is here.
Perfect timing. The situation was really starting to get desperate. And not just because of the prison thing.
From Claren's face, Paimon really can't tell if it's good news or bad news.
Water continues to drip from the ceiling. In this lightless dungeon, you lack a reliable way to tell how much time has passed. Eventually, you get used to the unpleasant odor of straw, mold, and rust, and find yourselves alternating between fits of drowsiness and despair. Suddenly, you hear footsteps outside the door.
Heads up, everyone. Someone's coming.
Gather close, everyone, and keep your voice down.
Who are you?
I work as a guard in these dungeons, but my true identity is the same as your own. I'm also a Marechaussee hunter.
Huh?
Shh! I've already sent away the other guards, but if we make too much noise...
I understand, but how can we be sure we can trust you?
The king has issued a formal decree. In light of the irrefutable proof of your crime, you're to be executed before tomorrow's sun...
Executed? We barely did anything!
Monsters appearing at the same location as the treasure. Could this entire thing have been a trap?
There will be time for speculation once we're out of here. As for my identity, I have no way to prove that to you just yet. Infiltrating the capital was difficult, and finding a chance to speak with you has taken a lot out of me. I could go on, but I think we can all agree that now is not the time for details.
Have you seen our weapons anywhere, sir?
Don't worry, I brought them with me. They're just behind the door. Still, these weapons alone won't be enough to defeat the true enemy behind the scenes. His faction is too powerful. The guards are all under his control, and he's even stationed a number of... To defeat him, you must find a secret vault. It is said that within that vault, the Marachose hunters...
You're not coming with us?
No, I'll remain in the dungeons to deal with the guard. As long as my identity is not revealed,
In that case, please stay.
Thank you for your concern. I will do my utmost. As for the location of the vault, here, this map should lead you there.
Got it.
All right, once I open the door, you now have the and...
With the help of the guard, you successfully...
Wait, we didn't get to use our skills at all while we were in prison. Who knows when we're gonna get the chance to use that cool summon spell?
That is a pity, but we can only continue to move forward.
Illusion shattered!
Overruled!
You're mine!
Torn to oblivion! Transfixed! Witness my rise!
Let the world come alive! The show begins!
There is no escape! This should be the place marked on the map.
This bit of rock certainly looks suspicious.
Well, I'd say an investigate.
Wow, you really meant that.
Before you lies a...
Well, guess...
What's the matter?
It's nothing. As you step into the cave, you find yourself in an eerily quiet space. Before you lies a narrow passageway that appears to trail off endlessly into the distance.
Wow, this must be where the
But this door is blocking our way.
Huh. What have we got down here? A kind of mecha...
A pattern on a stone door. That's something...
Is something wrong, Clarant?
After a long, difficult journey, You find your surroundings are...
That description makes Paimon feel kinda bad for disturbing this.
We're doing this for the sake of the people, to free them from the evil sorcerer. I say it's time for this treasure to once again see the light of day.
Linny's right. We need to keep going. The future of the kingdom depends on it. The next part of the story requires us to solve the puzzle, right? Let's start exploring the area.
Yes, that should be fine. Something feels off about all this. Guess I'll just have to improvise.
I found something.
Found something here, too.
Same here. It worked!
Something just appeared.
By solving the puzzles, you prove yourselves at the end of each puzzle.
With?
A key.
Oh, it must be the key to the big door.
This... It is said that for...
Huh?
You hear a few strange noises.
Huh? What's going on? Did we...
For the sake of immersion, please close your eyes, everyone.
But Paimon can still see a little bit over here. Oh, right. Sorry.
Suddenly, you hear the sound of footsteps pierce through the darkness.
There's someone else here? Oh, this is so unsettling. I can't see anything.
I've been discovered then.
Wait, that voice, it's...
You recognize the voice as belonging to the guard who led you to this place. It appears he now covets the treasure for himself, and has come to stake his claim.
Oh, so this is just part of the script. Then I can probably relax. Well, if we can't see anything, that means we can't fight to the fullest of our abilities. Should we retreat for now?
Judging by the way he's holding his sword, he must be a real Marechaussee hunter. But this isn't part of the script.
Retreat? That's not the hunter way. If it's dark for us, then it's dark for him.
Your choice is noted. Please keep your eye...
You got it!
Well then, let us begin. Loaded.
I'd like to try to hit him with my sword.
Your strike is successful.
Is he still standing? Goodness, he sure has a lot of HP.
Is it over? Can we open our eyes now?
The enemy is strong,
and relentless.
What about now?
Final strike. Ha!
Oh, well, did we get him? Glorian?
Warm fire flickers across the walls once more. Your vision is now clear. In an impressive display of courage, the four of you successfully defeat that look in his eyes. It's like he became an entirely different person as soon as I defeated him.
Huh? Mr. Florian? Oh, wait. We're supposed to be role-playing. I should stay. Speak your name, guard. Why did you lead us here just to betray us? Is this treasure really more important to you than bringing peace to the kingdom?
What kingdom? What peace? Those were nothing but lies! I, Florian, am a true Marechaussee hunter, descended from hunters of ages past.
So he's also using his real name. Or, wait, was that the name of his character from the very beginning?
Then I'm even more confused. If you truly are a Marechaussee hunter, shouldn't you want to help us just like you said before? Shouldn't we fight together for the sake of the people?
What do you know? In this day and age, there's no glory to be had as a Marechaussee hunter.
What's that supposed to mean?
My skills were passed down to me by my father. We lived a life of obscurity in the remote wilderness. Still, he devoted everything he had to being a Marechaussee hunter. And what did he get in return? A life of poverty and pain. In a world that forgot all about him. When he died, not a single person came to mourn his passing. The Marechaussee hunters were the ones who saved.
Is he talking about how no one in the capital seems to remember?
So that's why you want to take the treasure for yourself?
If you already knew where the treasure was—
Because I still needed the final key.
Only a true Marechaussee, as someone who sought to hurt others for his own gain.
Okay.
You're sure you want to go in?
We've been talking about it for so long. Of course we want to see what's inside.
And we've already defeated Florian, right? So,
Pesky brats.
Watch yourself.
Then let's open the door together.
All right. Before you, the door to the— You hear the shrill wail of the door hinge as it rotates for the first time after years of disuse. Almost like a sleeping giant letting out an extended yawn.
It's open! Come on, let's go in! Paimon wants to see what's inside!
ooh, me too.
Ugh, uncovering hidden treasure is the most exciting part of adventuring.
A stone
You call this a treasure?
Maybe the troop ran out of budget at the end?
They provided a super immersive experience at the
Wait, I get it now. Paimon, this is the real Marechaussee hunter.
This is it? The Marechaussee hunter treasure is just a stone slab and some broken swords? I can't believe it. I refuse to believe it!
Whoa, are you okay?
The Marechaussee hunter before you appears to suffer a serious mental breakdown. He needs to leave the room for a moment to collect himself. One of you seems to understand the significance of the treasure.
Then
What is the treasure supposed—
Walter.
So, how are you doing? Feeling... Do you remember how...
I remember now. I brought you here because I wanted to... The explosives in the cave!
You mean these?
Huh? How did you...
I could tell something was off the moment I stepped into this cave.
So the strongest champion duel...
I deserve some answer. Everything you said earlier sounded like the truth.
I don't know. I just always felt like there was something... The feelings about my father and the other Marechaussee hunters are real. It just wasn't fair. I was angry. I don't know when it started, but...
But if the treasure...
I...
From your description, I suspect...
Devorator?
Oh, your
No, I've heard of it. Wait, it can't be.
The seal?
My family has... My father instructed me to always watch over that seal and maintain it regularly, but
The Devorator would be if you lacked the power to...
I heard it has the
And yet...
One of them I know just the only way I could...
I won't comment...
Well, I did pour my heart and soul. The stories my father used to tell me about the glory of the heroic Marechaussee hunters.
It's more than just a story.
Huh?
You're proud to be a...
I have done so many despicable...
Then explain the purpose of the evil sorcerer. Isn't he the true antagonist? The one who sought nothing...
But I've already tainted...
Wake up, Florian. Remember how you introduced yourself earlier. Do you really think the hunters acted out of a desire for honor and glory? Or to be loved and acknowledged by the people? What did... You do not wield your sword for yourself, but to protect those you serve. There's nothing special. Do you still not
You're right. I am a Marechaussee hunter. It's time for me to redeem... No, to finally serve the
I wouldn't be so quick to push aside the need for it.
I know. That's a charge I won't bother to defend myself against.
Good. Then, come with me. And help me see the script through to the end.
Huh? See the script through to the end? But...
Never finished it, huh?
No, I mean...
Then we'll just have to keep writing it.
You mean... the Devorator? Are you saying...
Is that really so hard?
You aren't afraid you're...
I know what my friends are capable of. And they're all quite skilled.
Then... Are you going to tell them the...
I...
They're back!
That took a while.
Ahem! My fellow Marechaussee hunters, please forgive me, for I have sinned.
Tone it down.
Sorry. After crossing swords with you and witnessing your courage in battle, I've rediscovered my true self and regained my pride.
Oh, do I smell a redemption arc?
I confess, I was brainwashed by the evil sorcerer. He asked me to lure you here.
That little... Wait, you're saying all of that wasn't you, but the evil sorcerer?
That's right. He's adept at manipulating the hearts and minds of the people.
Huh. And how are you going...
To be perfectly honest, I only came to my senses after seeing the treasure. It reminded me of the treasure.
The names of all the marsh.
Wait, you already know?
Of course. Don't underestimate a veteran role player's exploration skills.
We just finished reading through the content of the stone tablet.
That tablet recorded the lives of some fascinating people. She inherited...
So, she was just like you.
Oh,
Well, when you put it that way, working as an executioner.
Their lives were all so exciting. You could write so many cool books about their accomplishments.
Because they chose to be. To hunt monsters at only...
Then this stone tablet must...
That's right. Few Marechaussee... The only time they spoke of their...
so... This tablet was created...
No wonder this place was so well hidden.
You regard the the tablet proves their legacies shall continue to be passed down.
Father, you once told me that I should seek out the treasure if I ever became lost. So this... Thank you, my friend. You are very... I implore you, everyone. Please give me...
Well,
Sounds good to me too.
I have no objections, but... Mr. Florian, do you even know how to defeat the evil sorcerer?
what if?
GM?
At first glance, these blades have...
So basically, take these with us, right?
I'll take this weapon, since it used to belong to Est. Maybe it'll find comfort in being held by someone who appreciates the arts.
Ah, good idea. I'll take Mr. Walter's bow then. From one archer magician to another.
Paimon's gonna pick a cool weapon too!
As you grip your weapons, you can almost feel the will of past hunters coursing through your...
Mr. Florian, do you know where to find the evil sorcerer?
I was able to see his surroundings when our minds were connected. We must be extremely careful. He's spent...
Then why don't we explore some more and try...
No, we have to strike now. He was greatly weakened when I managed to...
I agree with Mr. Florian. We've got to act while we have...
Yeah, now that we've got a plan, there's no point in...
Yes, that's what's called... Yes, that's exactly right.
Alright, you've persuaded Paimon.
Mr. Florian, please, lead the way.
Of course. Follow me.
He had to set up so many scenes today, and now he has to join in for this last...
Finally, you decide as you walk away. You feel the gaze of the stone tablet at your back. Finally, you arrive at the church Florian described. As you approach, an ominous aura surrounds you.
How strange.
Now, it is time for the final battle.
Let's go.
Florian, wait.
What's wrong?
I think you should wait outside. You've already been corrupted by the Devorator once. It could easily re-enter your mind and take control of your body. I don't think it's a good idea for you to be this close. If it corrupts you again, it's possible you might take on a new form entirely.
That's exactly why I have to go. Why I should be at the very front.
You mean...
Yes. I intend to lure it into my body.
That's too risky. If things get out of hand, I might have to
I understand, but if I do, the Devorator will have a hard time passing up a chance to enter a body it knows how to control. You won't have to worry about any of your friends being taken over. You're not like me, Miss Clorand. You're a just and powerful Marechaussee hunter. The monster broke free due to my error. It's only right that I shoulder the responsibility for its destruction. This is something that I have to do. Consider it a duel to restore my honor. My only request is that you give it your all.
I understand. Then, as a champion duelist, I hereby accept your request for a duel, and extend to you my most sincere regards. The battle is now upon us. Let the Devorator once again tremble under the blade of the Marechaussee hunters.
So lifelike!
This foe is not invincible. You hold the treasure. The power to defeat it in your own 2 hands.
The treasure? You mean... The names! It's the Marechaussee hunters' names!
How are we supposed to...
You forget, Paimon? There's still one skill we saved until the very end.
Hunters fight not for fame, but to aid the people whenever they are summoned.
Walter the Marechaussee Hunter, master of 1,000 tricks, executioner of the Phantom Hunters, I call for aid!
Est, the Marechaussee hunter, inheritor of Cassiodor's will, judge of the Shadow Hunters. Answer my call!
Petronia, protector of justice and order. The hunter I respect the most. Thank you for saving my friend, the best one I'll ever know. Please, lend us your strength!
We have come to answer your summons. And so, the monsters were eradicated, and the sorcerer was defeated. Peace soon returned to the capital. Those in the court, manipulated by the sorcerer, also some remembered the names of the heroes who saved their kingdom. But others simply continued their lives none the wiser. Such is the story they will always Yes.
It's a pretty solid story overall. That final battle especially.
Oh, right.
That's a really good point.
Yeah, mine nearly... Oh, we should probably give these props back, right? I'll just leave mine here.
Did you have a good time?
Of course. Let me know.
Sure, no problem.
Then I'll head back once Mr.
You're right.
Well, see you all some other time. Toodaloo!
Okay, so, can I ask now,
I think it should be fine, yeah.
what in the world was going on back there?
So you saw through all of that?
I was dying of curiosity the entire time.
Guess none of us wanted to be the one to break the illusion.
What are you all talking about?
Oh, wait. Don't tell me you never... Ugh.
You're saying
It's probably more accurate to say this was...
What?
So loud.
Hey, you! Get up right now and explain yourself!
No shaking, please!
Did Paimon just hear that right? You guys made up that whole last part on the spot? It's not nice to lie to people, but Paimon's gotta admit, that was a really good...
Yeah, it was like...
If Paimon knew something was wrong with that vault, she would have floated straight in the opposite direction!
Everything was under control.
As if you've ever described a situation as being out of control.
Guess I'm just used to it.
You must...
As for you,
I know there's...
I would say
What?
you may have been blinded by... You'll be far more used to...
But...
Of course, you'll still need...
Yes, of course.
As far as I'm concerned, though, your showing in the duel was enough to prove...
Thank you so much, everyone. I'll do my best until we meet...
Speaking of Marashose hunters, what should we...
Leave it be.
Are you sure? We could show it to people, make it so that the hunters are remembered. Don't you want that?
No. Every name on that... I am no exception.
That's certainly very...
Wait! Paimon just...
That's because the Mara...
Oh, so that's why they had an effect on that guy near the end. I really thought the summons were doing...
Well, I'm sure the sum...
Oh?
This particular Devorator probably hailed from the same era as the hunters we saw in the room. The names you recited all...
So the names...
Navia,
Huh? Oh,
I really appreciated those...
all right, all right. Anyway,
She ran off!
I should probably head back as well. This story was truly incredible. I might have to spend the whole night telling my siblings all about it. Goodbye.
Traveler. Should...
I suppose the significance...
A great answer. I'll remember it. Me, the Marashose hunter. Perhaps her answer lies in her silence. An
The world.
Fry! Picked the wrong test subject. Let's end this now! Fry! We'll meet again. before me! Fall before me! Fall before me! Will hunt down again.
To the ferry? Going somewhere? Finally,
Fall before me! You win this battle. Let's end this now! Fall before me! We'll meet again. Fall before me! Cut down. Fry! This will end you! Fall before me! This will do!
feel my blade!
End you!
The perfect distance!
Fall before me! Cut down! This
Going somewhere? Finally,
We'll meet again. We'll meet again.
Gone.
Fry! 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 Fry!
Going somewhere?
Fall before me!
Perfect distance!
Fall before me!
Going somewhere? To the ferry?
Fall before me! You win this. Fall before me!
The perfect distance!
Fry!
Going somewhere?
Fall before me! Cut down! Fry!
The perfect distance!
Fry! Picked the wrong test subject.
Going somewhere?
Fall before me! Fall before me!
To the ferry?
Fall before
The
me!
perfect distance!
Fry!
My blade!
Fry! Fry! Fry!
Finally, I...
perfect distance! The fairy!
Cut down.
Going somewhere? Finally, No.
You win this. Fall before me! Cut down like this.
Ad Astra. Thank you for complete. Ad Astra.
All the world holds dear is but a backdrop of constant motion. I stand before it, alone and unchanging. The world remains constant over the centuries, but human life is like the dew at dawn, or a bubble rising through water. Transitory. All the world holds dear is but a backdrop of constant motion. I stand before it, alone and unchanging. Inactivity serves no purpose whatsoever. All the world holds dear is but a backdrop of constant motion. I stand before it, alone and unchanging. The world remains constant over the centuries, but human life is like the dew at dawn, or a bubble rising through water. Transitory. The mortal plane. A fleeting dream.
it up!
Out of the frying pan, it's
Freeze! This moment will be frozen in time. Supporting fire! Check this out!
eat this! Nice and spicy.
Time for your arraignment! Incinerate!
Don't get frostbite. Dodge this! I got you covered! Don't get too close!
Out of the frying pan, into the fire.
Breath of the flame!
Booba, get them!
Teamwork is dreamwork! Let me weave you a verse. Let's light it up!
You're in for a little shock. Try not to enjoy this.
You're toast! Everybody stand back! Rain outlines your fate. Rain cutter.
You're in for a little shock.
Going in! Yeah!
Surrender and will be gentle.
Stay put! Odds reveal dice!
Excuse me? Move or be moved! I was too slow.
Just like we rehearsed!
Midnight Phantasmagoria. No rest for the wicked.
Uruguay, you're up! Go get him, Uruguay!
To Al Akbar! Give me some space. You want this one? Way ahead!
Height!
No more tricks up
By
your
royal
sleeve.
decree! Shadow Raven,
You
let night
want
fall!
this one?
Help! Polinampa, help! Don't be scared! Hey!
Move or be moved! Let's... Flicker. Well now.
Oz, reveal thyself! Wings of darkness! Come, Sever!
Scatter.
Ready, steady, go! Let the show begin!
Here you are.
Midnight Phantasmagoria.
Defract.
No rest for the...
Check this out.
Stop right there!
By royal decree!
Ready. Hunt them down.
You asked for it! Shadow Raven, let night fall! Ha!
Stop! Don't get too close. Here's backup.
Time to testify. Loaded.